When I stand in the chamber and look at the government side and the opposition side, I'm saying a pox on both your houses because you are the status quo. We need to allow innovation. We need to allow new thinking to come in, new pathways to be gone, because the old ways don't work anymore.
You know, what I want to do is ask the audience, please, if you've got a comment for Brian, if you've got a suggestion, if you've got a question, please just whack it in the socials.
Sure.
What do you think about that? You ready to answer some questions,
I
Brian?
answer questions all the time, from my wife mostly.
You know, and I'm wondering, apparently I heard on the grapevine that your son got ducks. Is that correct?
I don't know about that. I'm still waiting for it, but there's two of them in the race, and whichever one wins is going to be worthy. And he's just had a ball in his last year at school.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about how it feels as a father? Because this is Brian the man. How it feels as a father to have a son that you know, is moving along, moving up in the world there.
I've got two boys, very intelligent, both of them, very different pathways, and I'm intensely proud of both of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier as a father. Yeah. The main thing is that they've both turned out to be good men.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's it. Education, learning things. Yeah, if you turn out to be a nasty person, all the education is for nothing.
Absolutely.
I think so. But my youngest one is shining at school and looking at a great future. My older boy, he's actually joining the ADF.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was in the forces, but I haven't got a medal to my name. My boy's going to be marching on Anzac Day with medals. I'm thinking I'm so proud of the boy. And learning great skills and learning how to be, I think, an even better man. So I'm happy.
Well, I'm really curious. You said that because I was in the military as well. And my father said to me, as I got on the bus to leave for Kapooka basic training, he said, "David, you should have joined the Air Force." And I was joining the Army. Well, I didn't know. I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" As the bus is driving away, and I'm looking at him kind of going, "See you, Dad." And I found out about, maybe 3 months later what that actually meant. So I'm wondering how he's preparing himself for this basic training.
It's like all of life. You don't actually understand what's happening. You've got an idea, and then the reality hits you later. We looked at the RAAF, the Army, of course, but he's probably going into the Navy. We don't yet know, but that's the way to go forward, I think.
Absolutely. Now, I've got another question. Remember we started a long time ago with what's in the box? Well, today I have another box. As everyone can see, it's a recycle bin, yeah? And I'd like you to guess, Brian, what's in the box?
Recyclable things?
I'm not really sure, but let's open up the box and have a look. Oh, there's something alive in the box. It's a very, very tiny flower. It's very, very precious. And it's very, 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 what would we say? It's fragile. Mm-hmm. So what I want to know, and I think the audience may want to know this, how do you see the environment? Because of the fragility of the environment, how do you see the policies around environment?
Totally inadequate. This is going to be a major platform on what I'm working for, because we have one world, it's a beautiful world, and it's in trouble just now. And we need people to stand up and do something. I could talk for hours about this. We have the urgent need to look after our world. It doesn't really matter if you say it's caused by humans or not caused by humans, it's all natural cycle. The thing is, we have got changes happening to us right now. Look at the weather patterns. There's a projected 3.5 billion deaths due to heat and humidity as a result of global warming, and we've passed 1.5, we're at 1.75 just now. We must stand together and do something. Now, you could then say, well, what can we do? I'm just a small person. We need to work together to get a solution. Now, the important thing is that the people who can make a difference, the ones who own the companies, the politicians who can lead this, need to be active. We can, for example, rather than focusing on blaming and the oil and gas, okay, we're looking at, we're doing the best we can here and we all need this, it's jobs. We need to realize that the current money that is being made in the current status quo is overshadowed by the amount of profits we could make by working to save nature. Using alternative approaches to energy, for example, managing the resources of our agriculture, feeding our populations, we would have actually much more coming in as a result. And this means that for those who are on the fence about environment, if you get into the business protecting the environment, creating new advantages, you are at the start of a wave of a very profitable business concern.
Absolutely. And crisis theory suggests that human beings generally tend to wait till everything's about to implode before they'll do something. So as with our what's in the box here, if we were to pull out, or you were to pull out a policy right now, a policy of this party, either formulated or becoming formulated, what would you pull out of the box? What policy would you pull out of the box that would help the environment the most?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because in December and January, we're going to be sitting down to have thorough thinking about what we are going to do. Absolutely front and center of the policies for our party have to be environmental sustainability.
Absolutely.
But it has to be done such that it actually makes sense in every area. Look, the wellness area, the mental health area, the physical area, the financial area, because it's not an idea that we pluck out of the air and say we're going to, for example, what's a good example? Ban gas. Okay? Well, we can't do that. We have to move towards that. But, I mean, at the moment, just saying we're going to stop this, ban it, we're going to have protests and we're going to stop it, it's going to lead to problems. We need to quickly find solutions and put them into the public domain that we can all stand behind them as being sensible. Profitable, by all means, for business, but also pleasurable for society.
Absolutely.
So we're going to need to work, every single one of us, at the same goal of keeping our home beautiful and safe.
So safe, predictable and comfortable.
Yes.
Is what you recommend.
Because what we're saying just now is that if we carry on this safe, predictable pathway we're now, but keeping the status quo, we're going to have deaths, we're going to have financial loss, we're going to have destruction. And who wants that?
We actually create more unpredictable.
We do indeed.
We absolutely do.
So we're in the cusp of this just now, people realizing, hang about, this is not theory anymore, it's actually observed. The predictions we made in the 70s and 80s, and I've been following us that long,
Yes.
predictions, it might be different, or the science is wrong. No, now it's observable.
Which is exactly what the tenet of science is made on, observable.
Yes,
yeah. And the other thing, my friend Cobber, he's a bush poet, used to say the world...
I met him.
You know Cobb?
Yeah,
he's a really good poet. Hi, Cobber. My friend Cobber said, the world is ran by those who turn up. Now, I want to put a serious shout out to everyone out there about joining the party. Because if you sit on the sidelines and we watch from the sidelines, that's okay. That's okay. However, the world is ran by those that turn up, but those that move towards the thing we need to move towards. What's your thoughts on that, Brian?
When I stand in the chamber and look at the government side and the opposition side, I'm saying a pox on both your houses, because you are the status quo. You're keeping things the same. It's more of the same. It's more of what's happening right now. It's just going to get more of it. We don't need this. This confrontational, we don't need this. We need to work together. So I would be saying we need to get a new style of politics, a new style of thinking. The status quo has to vanish. We need to allow innovation. We need to allow new thinking to come in, new pathways to be gone, because the old ways don't work anymore.
They don't. And the way to do that is to have a voice. Now, a lot of people feel quite minimised because they perhaps don't have a voice, although this party is a voice. It's a voice for moving past the status quo. Is that incorrect or correct?
That's absolutely what I believe.
Absolutely.
We must make a change, and the time for change is now.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Does the party have any plans to maybe change platforms, or maybe to expand, or do anything else?
Yes.
Are you able to mention it? Is it like a secret squirrel thing, or can we tell our audience out there? And by all means, please ask him questions. You might not be able to answer them, but
the answer is not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So should we just leave it in that box there, that mysterious box, or can you tell us a bit more about that?
That box is being opened.
Right.
What I would like people to do is let us know, what do you want? It's about the people.
About the people.
It's about, this world is about us living here as brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters. We need to hear from you. What is it that you think is important?
And we need your comments for that. We have to hear what's important and ask us the questions, because that way we can make these podcasts about you, the people. Yeah.
Yes, because we live in a beautiful world. There's such a lot of beauty here. Let's enhance that.
Absolutely, and let's have a voice.
Let's have a voice.
Let's have a voice.
Well, you've got a voice in Parliament now.
Yes, Dr. Brian Walker is our voice. Yes.
And the voices are increasing.
Absolutely. Okay, the last thing I want to ask you about, because I believe we're going to wrap up in a second. Hobbies. Tell me about your hobbies, just for that thing and giggles.
Right. Well, I've had a number of hobbies. My first hobbies were actually martial arts.
Oh,
I'm a black belt in kendo and iaido. Had to give that up because I've moved countries and it just was difficult.
lethal weapon.
You could say my hobbies are reading.
Yeah.
I would love to paint watercolors, acrylics. Love to do that. Golf also, but probably my hobbies actually is communicating.
Oh,
The broader sense of communicating.
yeah, absolutely. And, we are wrapping up now. So thank you for listening today. Please leave some comments in the chat on the website for Dr. Walker. And thank you very much, Brian. You've been listening to a chat with Dr. Walker, and we'll be back next week.
See you soon.
Thank you.